Crimea is one of the most sensitive regions, not only in Europe, but also in the world. But now Apple is embroiled in a tense debate. The State of Duma taking to Twitter to say that Crimea is now displayed as part of the Russian territory. We wanted to get confirmation for this, so we contacted Galina Polanskaya, she's our Moscow correspondent, to see what happens if you typed in Crimea on Apple products such as Apple Maps. Let's just take a look here down below. This is Russia. So certainly within Russia, Crimea is listed as part of the territory. What about Apple Weather? We wanted a confirmation about that also. And again, Russia being displayed here. Now, we also wanted to cross-check this with what happens if we typed in Crimea from France, and a far less geopolitical stance made here. Crimea is just listed as simply Crimea. Now this, according to the Russian government and the State of Duma, they said that this change by Apple finally eliminated what they called inaccuracies. But certainly for Ukrainian officials, this was controversial to say the least. The foreign minister taking to Twitter to say, imagine you're crying out that your design, your ideas, talking to Apple, years of work and piece of your heart was stolen by your worst enemy, saying that they didn't give a damn about their pain. That's how we feel. Going on to say iPhones are great, but to stay out of geopolitics, saying that that's not your strong side. It wasn't just officials, it was also embassies weighing in here on social media. This coming from the Ukrainian embassy based in the US, saying, let's all remind Apple that Crimea is part of Ukraine and it's under what they say Russian occupation, not its sovereignty. So this is highly controversial. Now, we want to get exact details from Apple. We contacted Apple last night. We again contacted them this morning to find out when this change was made, why it was made, and whereabouts in the world it's being rolled out. They have yet to confirm that to us. But we spoke to Samuel Romani, and he said this isn't the first time tech companies have been embroiled in issues of geopolitical significance. Let's just take a listen.
The HK protest app, which would have shown all the protest details the way the opposition would have liked it, or whether they're taking their iCloud and putting it into the common Guizhou server. I mean, there's a lot of concessions that are being made to China, which is a much larger market.
So Samuel referring to an app used by Hong Kong demonstrators that was banned on Apple earlier this year. So certainly many questions remaining for Apple. Once we get an update, we'll be updating you here in theCUBE.